What's up, my awesome and amazing friend? Remember that God loves you and so do I. For this project, we're going to be building a birdhouse similar to that one right there across the fence. We're going to be using recycled PVC pipes, this plywood over here, and of course my trusted saws. On this area here, what we're doing is we're cutting out the little closeout holes. I'm using my trusted saw over here, which was very handy dandy. And cutting the little closeouts out. And then once we're done with that, then we took the project inside the garage. And of course, as you can see here, the closeout is going to go at the bottom of the birdhouse, like so. And then I got this little square here, which is going to be holding the roof for the birdhouse. And then when I got in there, I used my drill to create a pilot hole, which I'm going to be using to for the birdhouse door or opening. And then I'm going to come back and then use the saw again to widen out this hole. And so this is the second birdhouse. I'm making two birdhouses because both my sons want to have a birdhouse. And so here I'm opening another pilot hole for the second birdhouse. And so being the cameraman, I couldn't really hold the camera and show you what I was doing as far as the cutting. But if you look on this one right here, this is what the hole looks like for the birdhouse. And so of course this is what it's going to look like. I had to tape this wood down first, and then these screws are going to be used to hold that piece of wood. They're going to be two on one side and then one on the opposite side to actually hold it together. So here I use my drill to drill the pilot hole for the screws. So you're going to have one hole here, and then we're going to have a second hole down here on the bottom, and of course another third one on the other side of the birdhouse. And then once we finish drilling, then we're going to add those screws in there. And here you see what it looks like with the screws in there, two on one side and one on the other side. And then once I was done with that, I actually used some caulking to actually weatherproof those, so it's tight on there. Of course, I'm going to remove the tape off once I'm done. So of course over here I was drilling in the last screw. And once I place the last screw in, this is what the roofing looks like. And then I decided to go get me some trusted Gorilla Glue and this little wooden dowel and put some glue right on the hole, and then place the wooden dowel in there. And just to reinforce it, I made sure after I placed the wooden dowel in there, I went in there after and added some more glue just to make sure it would hold. So I did this for both of the houses, and that's what the progress looks like thus far. So we got one down, and then we're gonna add glue to the second one, so they look like twins. I gotta say, I was having a lot of fun with this project. And then the second wooden dowel was placed in. The birdhouse doors were sanded down using sandpaper. And then once that wooden dowel was placed in, I removed the little metal hook that's on there. And then I had some old shingles laying around that I had used at on a house project. So I said, this is gonna be the roofing for this house. So I went and got me some of this gutter, caulking, and that's what I used as my adhesive for my roof for the house. So I made sure I dabbled as much as I could all around the top part, and of course, as you notice, it's a slanted roof all around the top part of this house, just to make sure it was weatherproof, that no leakage of any water or any weather's going to get in there. And that's what the process looks like so far. And of course, the fellas was excited, super excited, because they couldn't wait to paint their houses. So here they were, spray painting them away. I was like, ain't nothing like it. And they had a lot of fun. They definitely enjoyed it. And then once it was done, we allowed it to dry. And of course, they got to be creative with it. They want to put their own spin on everything on here. I was like, you go. This is your house. And of course, like the MacGyver that I am, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna have them hang on the trees, but we figured it out. And of course, they're pointing to where they would want the tree, where they want the birdhouse to be. And here they're excited because the birdhouses are done. That's the front of the birdhouse. That's the back of the birdhouse. And now they're in their location. Ta-da! Right next to the original one that inspired them. As you can see, that's the original birdhouse that the neighbor has, and this is their birdhouse. There's nothing like watching the fruits of your labor. Of course, here is where we see a little bird come out the birdhouse and leave to go get something to eat. That's when you know that you have been successful. You enjoyed it, and it was fun.